นกที่ไลฟ์แล้วนกสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับพร้อมแล้วครับครับ
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Zoom meeting where we discuss the Buddhist practice of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which happens to be Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Felicia.
Ajaan, good evening, Ajaan. My meditation progress is good. As soon as I sit down, I can directly enter into emptiness. The mind shut down and stop thinking easily. I can feel nobody, left only mindfulness and big fire burning. But I remain mindful and calm, very clear, very happy. I can see mindfulness and illusion are two different systems. I merely know and do not react. I enjoy meditation very much. Ajaan, I have some questions. I can feel when mindfulness is strong, vijnana and pain also disappear. Is it correct?
Possible, yes.
Okay, thank you. Number two, when vijnana appear, which one will follow next, thinking or sankhara?
Perception, sanya first. Sanya will see what the vijnana is, good or bad. When that happens, then you have vedana. Good perception gives you good feeling. Bad perception gives you bad feeling. Then you have sankhara, thinking, what should I do with this good and bad?
Okay, thank you. Number three, when I meditate, I see the vijnana appear. Can I watch it or don't watch it?
You should not pay attention to anything except your meditation object.
Okay, thank you. For my meditation practice, how should I continue to practice from here?
Do more.
Okay,
Practice
thank
more.
you.
And
Thank
try
you.
to stay calm all day. When you're not meditating, you should be calm and peaceful.
All right, I noted. Ajaan, is this Ubeka level?
Yes, if you remain not reacting, then you are in Ubeka. But
Okay,
if
thank you.
you are reacting, then you can have two options. Either use mindfulness to stop it, or you can
Okay.
use wisdom, use the three characteristics of existence to stop your reaction by telling your mind that what you're reacting to is dukkha.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amrutana Prajan. Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, next, Ajaan from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you, Ajaan, for your teaching. I have a question that even when I'm able to sit for half an hour, when I get out of it, I feel kind of like I have slept for the whole night, feel very well rested in the mind, and also outside feels pretty calm and peaceful. And is that kind of like a common thing to expect?
Yes.
And second question is that what does the word parami mean for a lay practitioner like myself?
Parami is being translated as the 10 perfections, which I think is, I'm not sure what they mean when they say perfection. But parami really means your good karma, the good karma that you have developed. There are 10 good karma that you develop, which will aid you to nibbana, aid you to enlightenment. You want me to describe the 10 good karma that we should be performing all the time? First one is metta, loving kindness. We should be loving and kind to all beings, regardless of race, color, ethnicity. We should treat everybody equally in terms of loving kindness. Second, dana or charity. We should keep giving if we can afford to. Don't hoard or accumulate your wealth for yourself and not using it. Better give it away to help the sick, the poor, the needy, good causes, whatever you. For Buddhists, the first one is to give to Buddhism, to support Buddhism. Once you think Buddhism is well supported, then you can give it to some other organization or groups of people or animals. Third one is to develop sila, or keeping the precepts. Fourth one is to develop what they call what's another word? To abstain from sexual or sensual pleasure by keeping the 8 precepts. To abstain from seeking sensual pleasures. I can't think of the Pali word, but which means keeping the 8 precepts. Abstain from sexual conduct, abstain from eating after midday, abstain from entertainment, abstain from dressing up, making up your body, and then abstain from sleeping on a comfortable bed. This is and one of the perfection, good karma that we should be performed. Next is to develop samadhi so you can get to upekkha, to equanimity, by developing mindfulness all the time in your waking hours. Try to keep developing or maintaining mindfulness. Keep controlling your thought. Stop your thought from running around. And meditate when you have time to get the mind to jhana, to upekkha. The next perfection and the next good karma that you should be performing is developing wisdom, which has 3 levels. The first level is by learning from other people, right? From the Buddha and his noble disciple. Listening to Dhamma talks, reading Dhamma books, for instance. This is the first level of developing wisdom. Second level is to contemplate on this Dhamma that you have learned so that you don't forget, continually contemplating until it stays in the mind, like the three characteristics of existence, the Four Noble Truths. These are the six good karma that you should be performing if you want to have parami. And in order to be able to develop the six parami, you need another four to support this endeavor. The first one is called resolution. You have to set up a goal. You have to have a resolution, such as, I will now devote all my time in building up these six paramis, this six perfection in my lifetime. Then you need the second one is truthfulness or earnestness. Once you have made up a resolution, you have to be earnest with your resolution. That is, you have to stick to what you have resolved to do. This is called Suchart, truthfulness or earnestness. Next, you need to have virya parami or effort. You have to, or energy. You have to be diligent in applying your resolution to make it bear fruit. And the last one is you have to have patience, khanti, or endurance when you have to go through difficulties in developing this perfection or these paramis. So they are all made up 10 of them. Six to develop, and the other four to support the endeavor. So they make 10 paramis. So in practice, you have to set up a goal for yourself. This is resolution. From now on, I will be metta and kind to everybody. Then you have to stick to your resolution. Even if somebody made you mad, you will forgive them. And you will try to be nice to everybody, regardless of race, color, or their status, their action. Even if bad people, you still want to be nice to them. Even those who try to kill you, you should be nice to them also. This might take a lot of patience to do it. You have to be patient. You get now what the parami means? The 10 good karmas that you should be building up in this lifetime if you want to develop your mind to a higher stage of existence. Good enough? Understand?
That's the best that I've heard already in books. So thank you so much, really. Thank you.
Does it conform to the books you read?
No, I think this actually goes to the heart rather than the book. Yeah.
Okay. But not wrong. You don't think it's wrong, right? You can criticize if you think it's wrong. You don't have to agree with me. You can always...
No, I'll have to actually first practice what you mentioned. There are many things in the short speech that you gave, and there is plenty of things very, very useful and needs to be put into practice. And that is the most important thing first.
I hope you can apply it in your action, in your karma, whatever you do. Try to think of these 10 perfection, these 10 paramis. Other action are worthless to your mind, like going after wealth, status, praises, happiness through the sensual organs, sensual objects. These are all worthless. They are harmful to your mind. They can be harmful to your mind because they can cause you dukkha. They are impermanent. But this 10 perfection will not cause you any dukkha. But developing it might require a lot. You might have to go through a lot of dukkha to do it. No pain, no gain. Just remember this. If you want this 10 perfection or 10 dharma, you have to go through painful experiences in order to get it. But once you got it, then it will give you only happiness, no pain. But you have to accept that in order to get them, you have to go through painful experiences. Go against the grain of your defilement is what we are doing. This 10 action, this 10 karma, 10 good karma. The 10 good karma is in opposition to the defilement action. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
Next, Nandapat from Ubon Ratchathani.
ค่ะนมัสการเจ้าค่ะพระอาจารย์ Tonight I don't have any question ค่ะ
Okay. Kok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. Tonight I have a question regarding last week. Last week someone asked about what is wholesome and unwholesome actions, and Ajaan, you mentioned about watching YouTube or Netflix is considered as unwholesome. So as I was reflecting this, I find that the mind likes to be entertained, and therefore there's always this tendency for us to click on the video, whether you in the social media, just to get some kind of entertainment. So the question is, how do we? I think I think we are not able to see what is the danger of it. So that once we are able to see what's the danger of watching all these video clips, then we will not be so easily pulled away and by all these enticing video. So Ajaan, maybe you can elaborate how can we see what's the danger of watching all these videos.
The dangers happen when you cannot watch them. when your computer breaks down or your machine breaks down or you run out of money to pay Netflix for your subscription, then you get dukkha. You cannot get any more. They are like addiction. See, these things are like drugs. They're like heroin, like marijuana. When you have them, you feel good. But when you don't have them, then you feel terrible. Like cigarettes, like alcohol. They are sensual pleasures. And all sensual pleasures will result in dukkha sooner or later, when you can no longer have it. Okay, so you have to contemplate on the impermanent nature of this pleasure. And sooner or later, you will not be able to have it. Maybe you get sick and your body cannot take them, or you become blind, or your eyesight is bad, then you cannot watch anything. So you have to think of the possibility of not being able to watch these things. It could be at the other end, maybe the company that give you this entertainment fall down, or give up, producing. So you have nothing to watch. So anything can happen because they are all anicca, impermanent, anatta, not controllable, not always controllable. So when things go wrong, then you have nothing to watch. Then you become bored or you become restless or agitated. These are all dukkha. Okay?
Okay, I think that's very clear. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. It's better to rely on meditation as the tool, as the means of making you happy. Because you can always do it. Once you know how to do it, you can always do it. But with everything else, you have to depend on so many things in order to make it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Next,
Okay.
Bruce Lee from Indonesia, Medan. Are you from Medan, Bruce Lee?
No, Ajaan. I'm from Tangerang, near Jakarta.
Oh, near Jakarta. Okay, sorry.
No question for now, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Johanna from Medan, I think. It's,
Yes, Ajahn. Good evening.
I think we have some interference. Have someone seen the interference yet?
No.
Okay, anyway.
Uh,
Maybe it came from Johanna's end.
yes, right. From Johanna.
Okay, you have no question, Johanna.
I don't have any questions today,
Okay.
Ajahn.
All right, we'll go to Billy then. Billy,
Good evening. Yes, good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
okay, Siddhartha, your brother.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any question as well today. Thank you.
Okay, Kate Genso from Penang. You haven't turned on your microphone yet. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, so far we have Vasa for the Sanghar. Is there any Vasa for the lay person for Theravada tradition?
No, these are for monks, but lay people can apply to them if they like. Especially if they stay in the monastery, then they will have to follow the tradition of the monastery. But if you want to keep pansa, you can. No, there's nothing wrong with doing it.
Okay, yeah, noted. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Darren Neo of Singapore.
Hi, Ajahn. I have no question today. Wishing Ajahn great health.
Okay, thank you. How Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Tanajan. I'm just listening tonight. No questions for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Pui from Luxembourg. Pui.
Hello, hello, ท่านอาจารย์ได้ยินฮัลโหลคะ
I can hear you. Go ahead.
How are you, อาจารย์ everything okay. I just come to say hello to พระอาจารย์
Okay.
Because today I don't work and I just want to ask a bit from พระอาจารย์
Blessing. Okay. May you be well and happy. Be beautiful all the time. Never get old, never get sick or die. How's that? Good enough?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thai people like to be blessed. Every time they see monks, they want monks to bless them. Okay. Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm just listening tonight. No questions. Thank you.
Okay. B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Tanajan. I have a question regarding, I think, one of you just mentioning earlier with Suchart regarding the 10 spiritual perfections. And you mentioned that two of the factors, one is patience and the other one is effort. Now, I understand that we need to try to find a balance between the two, to go with the middle path. So my question is, how do we know which situation we need more effort and which situation we need more patience?
Well, you know it when you do it. But basically, you need to apply as much effort as possible. And when you reach a point where it's beyond your strength, then you might need the patience to help you push over this threshold. Otherwise, you might be stuck with the same level of effort. In order to push harder, further, you need patience or endurance in order to be able to do it. Now, if you used to sit for 1 hour, and you want to extend your sitting to 2 hours, then you need a lot of patience or endurance in order to be able to do it. You need to be developing, reciting mantra, maintain mindfulness all the time during this time of the practice. You cannot take it easy, let's put it that way. Normally, when you are within the range of your threshold, you can take things quite easy because you're used to doing it. But once you want to push above this limit, then you have to. It's like lifting weight. If you used to lift 50 kilos and you want to push to 60, then you have to put more effort and more endurance. I'm not sure if the word endurance better than patient or not, I'm not sure. Because there are no exact English word for this kanti, the word kanti in Pali. Perseverance, endurance, or patience. It depends on the situation. If you're angry at someone and you want to forgive them, then you might have to have patience. Okay, so really don't try to theorize it. Do it, practice it, and then you'll know.
Yeah, I realized that when Tanajan just mentioned about going above the threshold, that's when I start to realize my defilements start to pop in. When
and you have
pushing
dukkha.
myself
beyond
the limit.
So you have to have endurance or perseverance to be able to withstand the dukkha that arises from this endeavor, this effort.
And then we have to tell ourselves that this dukkha is just made up. We should just think of it as just some sort of vedana. It's going to pass. It's not going to stay with us forever.
They consider it to be an obstacle to your path, but then you can manage. You can get over them. You can get over it if you have mindfulness, strong mindfulness. You will be able to go over it. It's like a hindrance. No pain, no gain. So you have to. If you want to gain something, you have to pay.
Yeah.
And the price is pain or dukkha.
Nothing comes for free in this world.
No free lunch, no free lunch. Except a charity. When you go to a charity, then you might get free lunch.
Even charities, they expect us. I always feel that I want to give something in return. When they give us something, we feel like we should give them something back.
Okay.
So is that why dana is important, Thanachan?
Dana is to get rid of your attachment to material things, to wealth and to material comfort.
We reduce our greed.
Reduce your greed and also reduce the amount of time you have to spend going after the money. So you can have time to develop other perfection. Like keeping the precepts, the 5 and the 8 precept and meditation and study Dhamma. If you still go after money, then you will have no time to do the other perfection.
Yes.
Your goal is to make more money, more money. If I have 1 million, I want to make it to 10. From 10, I want to make it to 100. Even though you don't know what to use with this money.
Never get enough, but yeah.
Just make you feel good, oh, I get this money. And then you spend it foolishly by buying expensive things. Like buy expensive car, expensive watches, which can do the same job with cheap cars and cheap watches. Watches are there to tell time, but it doesn't matter whether you buy a cheap one or an expensive one. Car is to carry you from one point to point A to point B. It doesn't matter what type of car, right? Cheap or expensive.
Yes.
But if you're foolish, then you become involved in this delusion that in order to be happy, you have to have expensive cars, expensive watches, expensive house. Then you end up spending all your time making money and then spending your money foolishly. And never have the time to be able to develop the other spiritual perfection. None of them, because if you're greedy, you won't be nice to other people. Right? No metta when you're greedy. No dana. You don't want to give your money away. You work so hard for it. Why should you give it away, right?
That's not good, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I think that clarifies a lot, Thanachan. Thank you.
Okay. Like Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Tanajan. How are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm well, thank you. I have 2 questions. One question, I joined a meditation group with my yoga teacher, and I find sometimes I fall asleep only for a second, but I just wondered if there's anything I should do not to do that, or if it'll just get better.
You can reduce eating the amount of food you take in, so that you can be a little bit hungry, but it'll keep you alert that way. If you're full, then it will keep you sleepy. So try not to eat until you feel full. Try to eat it just to feel that you have got rid of the hunger, but not yet full, and then stop. Try to eat less. Eating less will help you preventing the problem of sleepiness.
Thank you. Good idea. I have another question, but it's a bit strange. I was reading about, I wanted to ask you about baby's birth and pregnancy. I was reading that the consciousness enters when the woman is pregnant, and I was wondering if you lose a baby and then you get pregnant again, could it be the same consciousness that comes back, or
No,
is it?
it's almost impossible, but it's possible. But it depends on where that consciousness is, and whether it is somehow and have the ability to take possession of the new baby or not. Because there are other consciousness waiting in line also. Many consciousness waiting to get a new baby, to latch on to a new baby. But you don't know who will come next. And maybe the consciousness cannot wait for the same mother and father to produce a new one. It probably goes to somewhere else looking for a new one. But I don't know how this process works exactly. But the consciousness will keep searching like you search the internet.
Yes. Another thing I asked one time my yoga teacher was about if someone dies who has sinned a lot, and he said that when someone dies, the consciousness is not good or bad, it is just energy.
No, the consciousness is the knowing element. But inside the knowing element are the good and bad karma performed by this consciousness. And this is the one that will determine when the consciousness will be able to take up a new body. See, it has to first go through the consequence of the good and bad karma first, until the good and bad karma remain about the same level. Then that consciousness will be ready to take up a new human body. See, a human born as a neutral in karma, good and bad karma are about equal. When we are born, we have neutral or equal good and bad karma. Then we start to develop more good or bad karma until the time we die. And it depends on which one is stronger. If the good karma is stronger, it will send you to heaven first. If the bad karma is stronger, it will send you to hell first. Until the good and bad karma becomes equal again. Then you will be ready to stay in line for the new body, for new human body.
And if you go to hell, does that help you learn your lessons from
No, it's like when you're in a state of dream. Heaven and hell is a dreamy state. Like when you go to sleep, you just experience the good or the bad experiences, and you forget as soon as you wake up, right? If we can learn from our dreams, then if we know that our bad dreams are caused by our bad karma, then we will not try to do any bad karma, right? But we don't learn from our dreams. We cannot learn from our dreams.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. So the Buddha said, avoid doing bad karma, doing only good karma. If you can do this too, it will guarantee you heaven when after death. And if you can do the third one, purify your mind, it will guarantee you nibbana. So this is the three things that all the Buddha will teach any people to do these three things. To avoid sending the mind to hell or lower state of existence, and only send the mind up to good existence. And if you can purify your mind, then you will go to Nibbana. Okay, this is the roadmap, Buddhist roadmap. Just by doing these three actions. Okay, good. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajaan, no questions for now. Thank you.
Okay, Matt from DC. Are you still in DC, Matt?
Yeah, Arlington, so just outside of DC. But yeah,
okay.
I'm still
This is
here.
where the National Cemetery is. Yeah?
Yes, we've been there. It's very quiet.
it's a good place to meditate. The Buddha recommend go to a cemetery if you want to find some quiet place to meditate.
Oh yeah, there's another cemetery that's like a walking distance from me, so I try to go there several times a week to meditate.
Yeah,
walking meditation.
good place and quiet. Nobody goes there to play.
Yeah.
And this, it also reminds you of the truth of the body existence. That sooner or later it's gonna end up in the graveyard, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't like you have something similar to cemeteries, although you guys you cremate bodies in
Cremate
Thailand,
bodies,
right?
yeah, yes. So you can go meditate near a crematorium.
It's a lot more, it's a better use of space than just having huge fields.
Yeah, because we're running out of land for the living already. So we have to. And even the cemetery, from time to time, they will have to clean up the cemetery, dig up all the bodies and cremate them. So to provide new space for new bodies. For those who still believe in bury the dead, that's what they do. The Chinese, they still believe in burying the dead. So sometimes they have to clean up the cemetery, dig up the old dead bodies, and then cremate them.
So that
Yeah.
they dig up all the bodies of the people that don't care about them anymore because they're
That's
old.
right. Yeah. Because they need space for new body.
Yeah.
Anyway, the cemetery is a good place to meditate. It's a good place to remind you of death also, of the impermanent nature of our body. Because you got death all around you, right? When you're meditating. Any questions tonight?
No questions tonight. Just listening. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. And your partner is okay? She's working?
Emily? Yeah, she's at work right now.
All right, then I'll go to the next person, which is Gavin Danapong, now in Bangkok, before used to be in Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, Ajaan. No questions tonight, but I just wanted to say that I'll be visiting the temple again on Sunday and staying.
To visit the autopsy.
Oh, the autopsy is later.
Later, okay.
But I'll be staying for 9 nights.
9 nights. I see. You'll meet Alex Aruka. He's staying up on the mountain now. Alex, he came here on the 9th. He arrived. And he's fasting this right now also. So he say his mind is quite restless, so he need to calm it down. So he used fasting to help him calm his mind down.
I see.
You probably meet him if he hasn't moved away yet.
Okay.
Okay. Next week? Coming?
On Sunday.
Oh, this coming Sunday. Okay. I'll see you then.
Okay. See you soon.
This time by yourself or with another guy also?
Oh, by myself this time.
Yes. Okay. Next, Adeline and Philip. Where is Philip, Adeline? Working?
Good evening, Tanajan. Yes, he has a dinner tonight. So yeah, he said he'll come back and join later.
Okay.
Yeah. My question, I do have a question today in regards to the 8 precepts. How long do you need to practice? And after the 8 precepts, are there any more that we can practice?
As lay person, as 8 precepts is enough.
Is enough?
Yeah, it's enough.
Okay.
How the length of practice depends on how much you want to do it. The more the better, because it will help restrain your sensual desire, sensual pleasure desire.
Okay. All right.
And will help you with your meditation. So normally when you keep the 8 precept, you practice meditation also. You just don't keep the 8 precept only. You want to keep the 8 precept to assist your meditation practice. If you're not practicing meditation, maybe the 5 precept will be good enough. But if you can keep the 8 precept, that would be better, even if you're not meditating.
All right.
Because it will restrain your defilements, your cravings, the sensual pleasure cravings.
Okay. I'm almost there. I'm still practicing. I'll try to keep my 8 precepts as much as possible.
Yeah, good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ajaan.
The goal is to be able to keep it every day, eventually.
Okay. We'll strive towards that point.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ajaan.
Next will be Alfredo from Brazil. Are you keeping the 8 precept, Alfredo, or 5 precepts or what?
More or less.
More or less. Mean 7 or 6 or 9?
Yes. I heard music and other things, not 8 precepts.
So sometimes 6, sometimes 7.
Yes. I meditate a lot. I like to meditate.
Okay.
The cause of agree in Nibbana that you mentioned last week is very good to understand Dhamma, né, Bante?
The what?
Nibbana is other word, né? Agree in Nibbana, the sadhana, né? The faith in Nibbana is very important, né, Bante? To advance in practice, né? Because any monks that say that the people's not like Nibbana, discussing Nibbana, because Nibbana is not have sensual pleasures and other things.
Yeah, it's a peaceful mind. Nibbana is a peaceful mind, a happy mind, peaceful and happy mind. No defilement. The mind without defilement is Nibbana. That's what it is in essence. If you have no greed, no hate, no delusion, then you are in Nibbana.
Yes.
Good? You have?
Good.
Okay.
I practice to try.
Okay. In order to get rid of your greed, hate, and delusion, you have to see the 3 characteristics of existence in everything.
Yes.
If you see they're all dukkha, then you don't want to have anything to do with them. But if you still think they can give you pleasure, then you are caught in a trap like a fish, caught in a bait, caught in the hook, the hook with a bait. When you see the hook with the bait as good, then you bite the bait, right? When you bite the bait, then the hook will then stick to your mouth. This is the same thing with everything. If you see things in this world as being good, give you happiness, then you are delusional. Then you'll be caught. You will never be able to escape from this realms of existence, 3 realms of existence, of samsara. You only have to see that everything in the samsara will eventually give you dukkha, because their nature is impermanent and anatta.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay, but very good.
All right. Then we go to Sri and check next from Vancouver, Canada.
Good evening, Ajaan. Ajaan, I have a question on the sutta. Like Buddha taught us to be aloof from sensual pleasure and aloof from unwholesome state of mind before we can go to jhana. And at the same time, he also taught us like the 5 hindrances.
Same thing, they're the same thing.
Yeah, they are the same thing.
Yeah. Sensual pleasure is one of the 5 hindrances. You're enjoyment of the sensual pleasure.
Okay. And the
Kama chanda. If you still enjoy the 5 sensual objects, then you're hooked to it. You cannot free yourself from it. And you will not be able to go to samadhi, because your mind will be craving for the sensual objects all the time. That's why you meditate very little. You spend more time watching, eating, drinking, and doing other things. This is our sensual pleasure, craving for sensual pleasure. So you have to stay away, go into seclusion, go to a place where there are no sensual objects for you to enjoy.
Okay. To restrain the
Like stay away from your wife, for instance. Stay aloof from your wife. Don't be close to your wife. If you want to meditate, you cannot have them both, you know. You cannot take your wife into meditation with you. Some husband and wife meditate together. I'm not sure what happens.
Okay. But how about the unwholesome state of mind?
Thinking, and by thinking about sensual pleasure is considered unwholesome state of mind. Or anger. When you get angry at someone, this is unwholesome state of mind.
Oh. Okay. And that's why you taught us to recite Buddha all the time. That is
right, to prevent the mind from creating unwholesome state of mind. If not, your mind will start to crave, to greed, to hate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what he meant.
So mindfulness is a powerful tool that can solve all your problems, all your mental problems. Only that it can only solve them temporarily, that's all. Once you can solve them temporarily, then the next step is to develop wisdom to solve all your mental problems permanently. So that's all you need to do, develop these two things. Develop mindfulness, and to the point where you can stop your mind from creating anything temporarily. And after that, you use wisdom to stop it from creating anything permanently, from creating any unwholesome state permanently. So you need to find time to develop these two Dhamma, this mindfulness and wisdom. By ordaining once and becoming a monk, then you will have all the time to develop these two things. If you are a lay person, you only have little time for this thing. You will have to spend more time in earning an income to support your life, your family. Then you don't have enough time to practice mindfulness or wisdom. You might be able to do it on your day off if you're really earnest about developing them. So instead of on your day off, instead of going to play golf or going to a movie or go to entertainment, you go to a monastery to to practice mindfulness and wisdom. And once you start doing it, then you will start to accumulate more mindfulness and wisdom, and it will make you feel better, and will want to and you will want to practice more. And then you try to find more time for this practice. Eventually, you want to spend all your time just for these practices, because the result you get from it is far better than anything, even making millions of dollars. Can give you this peace of mind. Anything else from Czech?
Ajaan, you talk about the 10 paramis. Is it the same as the 10 ways of making merit, or totally different topic?
Different, but they're similar. Let's put it that way. They might not exactly the same. Some of them are left off in one, and some are added in the other. But they are considered to be magga, the path to enlightenment. See, I think the Buddha tried to avoid monotony in his teaching. So he tried to, like cooking food, he tried to use the same meat, but fry them sometimes, boil them sometimes, chop them up sometimes, just to make it different. So people who eat them will not feel, monotonous. So they can enjoy the food. So same thing with the Dhamma teaching. The Buddha just tried to cook different dishes for us to eat. But they are food for the mind. And it also depends on the people who eat the food. Some people can eat the food that others cannot eat. So he knows which type of food he should cook for each group of people. Lay people, he give another type. Monks, he give another type of. Young children given a different type of food. But they are the same. They teach you to nibbana. So the 10 perfection, the 10 ways of making yourself happy, the Noble Eightfold Path, the triple training, these are all the same. They are all paths to enlightenment. So don't worry about all these different paths. Just find the one you like. If you like dana, sila, bhavana, just stick to these three. That's good enough. But if you want to be clearer, you might want to the 10 perfection. Because the 10 perfections that before you can do dana, you have to have metta first. You have to be kind and friendly to people. You want to wish people well before you can give to charity. If you don't have metta, then it's hard for you to give to charity. If you hate everybody, you don't want to give your money away, right?
Ajaan, I have another question. Sometimes you talk about like bad for the mind. For example, you said, doing bad karma is bad for the mind. What exactly does that mean? Like, does it mean like we'll be in samsara longer, or like is that like bad? You use the word bad for the mind. Like
bad is make you feel bad. See? When you do bad karma, you feel bad. That's the immediate result you get from doing bad karma. Immediate result is you feel bad. When you steal or when you lie, you feel bad. When you hurt someone, you feel bad. you worry, and you worry, you might get caught.
So
So
that's
you
bad for the
when
mind.
you do anything bad, your guilty conscience will come up. This will make you feel bad right away. And then it will also, in the long run, extend your existence in samsara longer, because every bad action will create further bad action. Once you do something, then you're bound to do it again. See, this is the problem. It repeats itself until it becomes a habit.
Oh. So even if you feel bad, you still compelled to do
To
it.
do it again next time because you forget how you felt last time. Because now you want to get something and the only way to get it is to cheat, for instance. And you forget how you felt bad before. But only after you have done it, then you start to feel bad. Maybe less now because you become in what you call
Accustomed? No?
become used to it. So you become immune to the bad feeling.
Oh.
So then you keep doing bad karma more and more because you don't feel bad anymore doing it.
Yeah. So if you don't feel bad anymore, is so you like that then it's not is like that's really bad for the mind. That's like
That's bad because you have no hiri-ottappa. The shamefulness or the fear of the consequence of your bad karma, which will follow later, maybe sooner or later. You might get caught, you might get put in jail or punished somehow, or retaliated by somebody. So your bad karma will produce bad consequences, both inside your mind and outside of your mind.
Oh.
And the opposite is true. If you do good karma, it will only produce good consequences for your mind. Makes you feel good. When you give to charity, you feel good, right? And even after you have given it for a while, when you think about it, you still feel good from your good deeds. You don't feel bad about from your good deeds. And you might have really good consequence. People might praise you, or people might appreciate your action, your good action. And people might come around and support you in time of need, for instance. Help you, maybe. That's why in the three teachings of the Buddhas, they said, avoid doing bad karma, do good karma. Because bad karma will make it bad for the mind. So when you don't do it, then nothing bad will happen to your mind. And you want something good to happen to your mind, then do good karma. But these two actions will still keep you in samsara. If you want to get out of samsara, you have to do the third action, which is to purify your mind. This you need to practice meditation. Samatha and vipassana bhavana. Okay?
Doing the good karma and purify the mind is totally is different. It's different. It's not the same.
What? Good karma?
Yeah, doing good and purify the mind is not the same thing. I thought like
not the same thing. Purify the mind is to get rid of your greed, hate, and delusion. Doing good karma doesn't get rid of your greed, hate, and delusion. Except the good karma of meditation. But it's in a separate category. In this good karma, actually the Buddha meant doing good things to other people. Help people, do charity work, support, good causes, once.
Ajahn, on the Q&A on the last Q&A, somebody asked you about like when they're dealing with a difficult situation, and you said that we should be thankful for the difficult times because it helps to strengthen the mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
no pain, no gain.
That's such a beautiful teaching because it's you always give us a different different perspective that it's really when you switch the mind around, it makes you feel makes me feel good anyways. Like when I think about when I go through a difficult time, and then just think about your teaching and say, oh, be thankful, and right away the mind changes like the perspective, and really helps me to feel like, yeah, good.
That's why the Buddha had to leave the palace, because in the palace there's no difficulty for him to face. But when he lived alone in the forest as a monk, then he got a lot of difficulties to face. Where to eat, where to sleep. Yeah. Try to be homeless for a day and see how it's like. Go practice homelessness for a day. Go sleep on the street for one night. Be a beggar, just sit down on the street, on the sidewalk, and have a begging can or something. Or sing a song to get your money, make money.
Well, yeah, like.
But it will make you strong. You can say, hey, man, if you can do it, what's the point of making all the money when you can do this thing? When you can be happy and poor, then that's good, right?
Yeah. That's why I appreciate you giving me like a different perspective. Like nobody, like in my whole life, that the whole world, the conventional world just thought, especially as a woman, like I have to make the home comfortable place, like nice place for your family. And I think a few months ago, I think you were teaching, I think it was with Saja, that make the home, first time I heard like, yeah, somebody said, you said that make your home uncomfortable. And then I thought about, oh, it's like, wow, this is very new perspective for me. Like, oh, instead of making your home comfortable, you should make your home uncomfortable. Because when you get used to the difficulty, I think it's easier for you down the road. You should train yourself in a harder situation instead of making things comfortable for yourself. So I really appreciate your different perspective, like your teaching, and you challenging the things that I learned all my life. And then I just said, when you change my perspective, it's really good. It's the true teaching. Yeah.
When you put the mind first, then you'll find that the mind thrives on difficulties. The mind becomes happy when it goes through difficulties.
The mind thrives on difficulty, Ajahn?
Yeah, it gets better, it gets stronger, it gets when it goes through difficulty. Once you pass the difficulty, then you feel stronger than before. And you will not be afraid of this type of difficulty anymore. If you can fast for one day, then the next time you have to have no food for one day, you don't feel anything. If you never fast before, if you miss a meal, then you start to have problems, right?
Yeah. Oh.
So really, what you call, can't think of the word, to restrain the mind from accessing all the comfort is really good for the mind, because then the mind will learn how to live without all this comfort.
Oh.
Deny the mind the comfort of the physical comfort, and it will force the mind to learn to live with the discomfort, the physical discomfort. Once it can learn how to live with it, then it's become normal for the mind.
Mm.
That's why when you become monk, you consider homeless. You have no possession. You cannot take any possession with you when you become a monk. The Buddha only allow you 8 pieces of property, possession. A baking bowl, 3 pieces of rope, a belt for your robe, your razor to shave your head with, and your beard, needle and thread to fix your robe, and water strainer. That's all the monks are allowed to possess during the time of the Buddha. You don't take your car with you. You don't take your house with you when you become a monk. You don't take anything with you.
Yeah.
It's like dying from your own status, dying from a householder to become a homeless person. Like Alex Aruka, he came with nothing except maybe he has a bag with him for his clothing, and that's about it. And he go with the monk in the morning to beg for food, to collect food,
Oh.
and eat just once a day. And all he has is just a platform and a roof to sleep on, and a walking path for his meditation practice. But why he came all the way for this thing? You ask, he must be crazy, right? But he was not happy staying in the home with all the comfort. His mind became restless and agitated, craving for more and more.
Mm.
So you have to suppress the mind with reducing all this physical possession and comfort to force it to become have less craving for things by reducing the things that it can have. Only the basic necessity of life. Then it will be easier to restrain it with mindfulness and wisdom.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. I'll strive. Now my goal is to strive to live uncomfortably, Ajahn.
Try to reduce all the possession you have in the house. Only have what you need. Like, you don't need a bed, give the bed away, sleep on the floor. You don't need the picture on your wall, give it away. All you need is a roof to cover your head with, that's all.
True.
So you can have an empty house and be happy.
Mm.
And it's easy for you to clean up too. So easy when you have no.
Yeah.
Look at all the stuff you have to keep maintaining, keep cleaning.
Right.
When you don't have it, then you don't have to do anything. Then you have the time to meditate.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel so stupid all my life. I just doing the wrong things. Like no, I'm going to trying to reverse the things that I learned.
Only keep what you need. What you don't need, give it away, sell it, or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question, but my daughter has got a question. Just
Okay, thank you. Charles from Bangkok. You've been away for a while. Oh, I'm sorry. But,
Good evening, Ajahn.
okay.
I am and I have one question. May I know where's the mind?
The mind is invisible. You cannot know where it is. It's an invisible person, but it can think and it can feel and it can know everything. The body doesn't know how, the body doesn't know, doesn't think or feel. It's the mind who know, who feel, who think. And the mind uses the body to take the mind to places that the mind wants to go. That's all. So the body is like an automobile, and the mind is like a driver. But the driver is invisible. You cannot see the driver. You cannot see the car. Have you seen a car that has no driver but can operate and run? It's something like that. If your body has no mind, then your body cannot move, cannot do anything, because the body has to wait instruction from the mind. Right before you can say anything, you have to think first what you want to say, right? And you have a question. You have this question first in your mind. This is the mind telling the body what to say.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Don't worry about the mind, where it is. Worry how to make it happy. That's all you have to worry about. How to keep it happy. And the way to keep it happy is to study hard and obey your father and mother and teacher. Then your mind will be happy.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Okay, good enough? Is that all, Alvin?
Yeah, I think he's happy with that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Somebody who was next disappeared from the screen. Where did he go? Charles, okay. Charles, you are next.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have a question about how to overcome the 5 hindrances, particularly the sensual desire.
Sensual pleasure, sensual
You
desire.
just mentioned just earlier. Okay, I try to figure out the question. Okay, to deal with the sensual the desire, right? Usually number one is we try to avoid the tempting situation, entertainment, things like that. The second is we need to deal with that with wisdom. You just mentioned earlier the 3 characteristics, right? You see them anicca and anatta, like that, right? But also, Ajahn, you always emphasize we should start our practice by achieve a high level of samadhi or chan, right? Before go to wisdom. Now, on one hand, we need to deal with we need to have a certain level of wisdom to deal with the sensual desire during the practice of samadhi, right? So if we don't have the capability to deal with the sensual desire, and how can we advance our samadhi? Because in order to achieve high level samadhi, we need to deal with one way we try to avoid the sensual temptation, right? At the same time, we need to deal with when the desire come up, right? We need to see that as anicca, right?
Yes,
so how can we deal with that situation?
There are different levels of wisdom. The wisdom that we talk about in Vipassana is the wisdom to let go of the 10 fetters, which is the highest level of wisdom that you have to develop before you can let go of the 10 fetters.
Okay.
But on the normal level, you also use wisdom or common sense. What to eat, not to eat. If you eat something and it gives you stomach ache, then you have to have the wisdom to know that you're not going to eat again next time.
See, when we advance our practice, right? When our mind go more peaceful, more quiet, more defilement coming out, layer by layer, it's like
you need wisdom in every level of your practice. You need to apply wisdom when you give charity. You do charity. You have to choose which charity is good, which charity is not good. So you need use wisdom every level.
Yeah. So how can we acquire the wisdom? by reading or by listening to the Dharma talk or something?
By talking to someone who knows it, like the Buddha and his noble disciple.
Okay. Well, okay. Fine. Okay. Then another question is: are there people like without wisdom and have a monster mind? Some lame people or some even monk, right? Not a good intention, right? And they can still achieve the high level of samadhi to Ajaan. How can they do that? They like they are not Buddhist, right? So the way they go to the high level of meditation.
No, samadhi is like a sport. You can be a bad person and learn a certain type of sport, like playing golf. So samadhi is like a sport. Just all you don't have to know is how to learn how to meditate. That's all. When you achieve samadhi, doesn't mean you can be a good person. You can be a bad person, like Devadatta. He achieved high level of samadhi. He got special psychic power, but he's greedy and he wants to become number one in place of the Buddha.
So in that sense, in that case, that means that they don't need to worry about the 5 hindrance, right? They just
they know how to get rid of the 5 hindrance. They know how to get rid of the 5 hindrance.
They don't do that, but they can still advance their practice, right?
It's like playing golf. You have to know all the obstacles that prevent you from achieving success in golf, right? If you can eliminate all the obstacles, then you can be champion, right? Playing golf.
Yes, the different type of samadhi, that one. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, then I would like to ask next questions about let me see, the contemplation of the 32 body parts, for example, the 4 elements, right? So the way we do
this for high level of wisdom, which requires samadhi first.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
But you can do it for fun or just as a training program. But you cannot really get rid of the fetters without the samadhi to support your mind. You need samadhi, you need equanimity before you can stop the fetters.
Yeah. Yes. The defilement appeared in my case, right? When I go deeper, right? So I need to let it go, right? So I need to have a very strong so-called wisdom. The equanimity to do that. Otherwise, I cannot do that. Okay. The practice of contemplating the 32 body part and the 4 elements, can we use using advanced technology? Because the traditional is just like sitting, like thinking, imagination, listen to sometimes instruction, guiding meditation. But now the virtual reality, DVR picture, everything, right? So can we see it by just?
I think you are wrong when you say thinking is primitive. Thinking is the most advanced tool that humans have. Everything is developed through thinking, not the other way around. You don't have robot to develop your thought.
No,
your thought is the one that developed all the robots, all the machines.
Yes.
So you're mistaken when you say thinking is primitive. Thinking is the most advanced tool that we can use.
Yes, I agree. Thinking very important, but in the old day they don't have a picture, right? But now I have a picture.
You don't need to think. You don't need to. Your mind can create pictures in your mind.
Create picture.
The Buddha had no robot. They have no virtual reality to teach him to become enlightened.
Okay.
He uses his mind. He uses thinking.
Okay. Can we do both, right? For example, I see the picture and the video about the body part.
What I'm trying to say is don't depend on anything except your mind if you want to become enlightened.
Can we have something to assist the mind to think, like see the picture, see the video?
Yes, you have to go live in the forest. Then this will assist your mind to think properly. Don't stay in the city or town because they are all surrounded by your defilements. Everything in the city and towns were created by your defilements to mislead, to deceive you, to think that you're advancing, you're developing. And actually, you are being trapped by your defilements.
Yes.
In order to get rid of your defilements, you have to get out of the surrounding created by your defilements and go live in the forest, where everything is not defilement created. It's all natural creation.
Yeah. Okay, for example, now I practice the 32 body part, and one way is I listen to the guiding, because I cannot remember every part exactly, right? So just listen, and then I just contemplate. It's really yucky like that, right? So if I have a video or something, right, I can also see, and I also can contemplating, close my eye and then see and close my eye like that. Is it more effective, or better just ignore the text,
Yeah, just look at the Buddha and his noble disciples. They didn't have all these tools.
They're 2,500 years ago.
So what? So what? It's still the same today. It's still available today. I don't know why you want to use something that you can.
Yeah. Because you see, not just myself, I just a group of practitioners, right? We're just thinking about how to improve our practice. That's why we just thinking about that.
Improve by mindfulness, by being mindful all the time. You don't need
fundamental, yes.
Yeah.
That's fundamental. Yeah.
And contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta. Contemplate on the sukha. You don't need any tools. You already have the perfect tools in yourself. When you go look for some inferior tool to assist you, when you have the most superior tools in yourself already.
But that is like to observe anicca, right? We observe the body.
That's your delusion, misleading you to go look for inferior tools when you have the most superior tools within yourself. That's delusion. Yeah. That's why you have to go talk to someone without delusion to tell you the truth.
Okay. Yeah.
If you go talk with other people, they will say, "Yeah, we can use virtual reality. We can use pictures. We can use videos."
Yep. When you talk about anicca, right? For those people, they are not really good in meditation. They cannot really feel the body vibration and changing moment by moment, right? They are not at that level yet. So maybe they need something else to help them to understand, your body actually changing every second, right? So both those good meditators, they can feel it already, right? So that's why I asked this question. For the beginner, maybe they are not able to.
You don't know how to use the superior tools. That's all. That's the problem. What's so difficult about imagining all the 32 hearts in your mind? You can imagine money. Why can't you imagine the skeletons?
Okay.
You can imagine Hong Kong. You can imagine New York. You can imagine Tokyo, but you cannot imagine the skeleton within your body. I don't know why. What's blocking you from doing it? They're all imagination, right?
Yeah, contemplating. Yeah. But actually, the body sensation, you can feel it, right? The mind, actually, imagination, but the feeling, we can really can feel it and see it. But I think the body part and the four element is the mind, right? Practice the mind rather than the body sensation, right? I think it's the mind. Okay, Ajaan, I think I already take so much time.
No, it's okay. No problem. Yeah. It's knowledge we're discussing, so it's good.
Yeah, it's very helpful because this kind of thing need to really think about it, right? How to advance the practice, right? That's why. So make it clear. I learned this before, but I have opportunity asked, right, to really clear my mind, right?
You have to go live with an enlightened master like Ajaan Mahabua, Ajaan Mani. You say they don't have anything. They live in the forest without any of this advanced tools that we have right now.
Yeah, at the end, we need to practice, right? At the end, after all the talk, all the reading, listening, at the end, we need to practice and experience ourselves. That's the no other option, actually. Have to do it that way. Yeah. Okay, Ajaan, thank you.
You're welcome. Evie from Indonesia. Evie, what's your problem today? Same problem like yesterday, like last week, like last month. It's all the same problem. You have no mindfulness. No mindfulness.
Yeah, no problem lah, Ajaan. Just 3 days ago, my meditation is I saw the Kesa Loma Danta Nakatacho, and it appeared by itself.
You're not supposed to see anything when you meditate. You're supposed to get to emptiness.
Maybe.
You've been sidetracked by your defilements already.
Yeah. Suddenly, it happened suddenly. I feel my skin is blue, is bruised and slightly wet, and the tip of the index finger so big, and look, there is much hole at the finger, and that is disgusting, Ajaan. And my hair also fall down, and I can see the head scalp that is white color, and my nails also like cracked yellow nails and very easily to break. And the final is the teeth so big in my front, my face, and want to swallow me, and I wake up. Is that because the mindfulness, the weak
You have no
mindfulness?
mindfulness. You have no mindfulness. That's why you wake up.
Oh.
When you,
So
you went into a dream without knowing it until you wake up. Then you say, "Oh, I just woke up."
I so scared because the teeth so big, and I am like want to get into the teeth, Ajaan. So I
Okay,
wake up.
just use anicca. Tell you that this is anicca. It's already gone. It happens and it's already gone, and you should forget about it. And come back and develop mindfulness. Mutto. Stop thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. The goal is to blank your mind. You don't have to fill your mind with all these thoughts. You'll not get anywhere if you're doing this like this.
Yeah. And Ajaan, I want to ask, is there a meditation retreat for women in Ajaan Monastery? Because
No,
if
it's all,
one
all individual retreat. You have to do it on your own.
Oh, no. Women also can participate, Ajaan.
On your own. They have dormitory style for you to stay at the temple. You just meditate on your own. Attending morning, evening chanting.
So if one day I came to see Ajaan and I am able to stay in Ajaan Monastery, all right?
Don't worry about that when it happens, okay?
Yeah, I know. And but I don't know when lah, because
I know it's a waste of time talking about it now. So you don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Ajaan. That is all.
Okay, good. Next, Joko Gumilang from Indonesia.
ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์ well today I'm just listening to this talk
Okay.
อาจารย์
All right. Go to Westbury. Paul, right? Paul Westbury. From Virginia, I guess, if I remember correctly.
Yes, Ajaan, nice to see you. Yes, a few weeks back, I spent a little bit of time at Forest Dhamma, a few days. I'm in the process of getting ready to go to Australia for at least the Vasa and maybe ordain there as well.
Oh, really?
And
with whom? With whom?
yes, yeah, thank you.
Who are you going to stay with?
At Bodhinyana with Ajaan
Ajaan Brown.
Yes, Ajaan Brown. At Forest Dhamma, I felt I like that you were saying earlier we have to have a little bit of discomfort
Right.
when practicing for the Dhamma. And when I was at Forest Dhamma, I realized like if I'm maybe 20% uncomfortable, then the Dhamma is very clear for me or very motivating. But I worried about getting too lax in the practice or too comfortable, or maybe have too much requisite things like that. But maybe I should remember to stay 20% uncomfortable. Is this a good insight?
Yes, good to stay below the poverty line.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So right now my practice is a little bit lax because I feel I'm going to be practicing for many years to come at the monastery. But yeah, I'll have to remember to be a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah.
Just keep on practicing. Don't worry about too much about the past or the future. Just stay in the present.
Okay. Yeah. One other question I had. I was talking with someone the other day, and I was thinking back of. Sorry, give me 1 second. I was yes, I'm here. I was thinking back at the fuel of why I have so much energy to stay with the Dhamma. Sorry, my mother was calling me for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that no, it's okay. It's okay. So I realized the fuel could be from like betrayal of like maybe different spiritual communities in the past and things like that. And I'm wondering how to use this fuel for in a wholesome direction to keep going in a beneficial way. From the feeling of betrayal when you're looking up to somebody and then you could lose the respect or something of that sort.
Well, just teach yourself that this is a lesson learned, so that you don't repeat the same problem again the next time. Remember, the Buddha said, "Don't believe completely and don't disbelieve completely. Wait for the facts to reveal themselves before you can truly believe things." So this is a good lesson for you about trust and belief. And sometimes you cannot trust or believe wholeheartedly because it might not be what you believe to be. So you have to wait to see the real thing before you can say, yeah, this is true or not true. If you haven't seen the truth yet, then you just have to hang your belief or disbelief. Don't fall for one or the other. Don't fall for believing or disbelieving. Just wait and see. Then you will not be disappointed or deceived.
Okay. And we kind of take the responsibility upon ourselves to say, there is something to look up to in the world, and if we can emulate that through seeing for ourselves, I guess maybe one day.
Look up to something that is quite well known to be true, like the teaching of the Buddha from the Tripitaka, or the teaching from the Ajaan, who are well respected by monks, by other people, like Ajaan Man or Ajaan Cha, somebody like that. These are already proven people that you could believe in them. But you have to believe in somebody like me, then you better not believe me completely. I could be deceiving you without you knowing it.
That's a very high standard for me not to believe.
But what I teach you, you have to prove it for yourself first, whether it's true or not. Once you have proven it is true, then you say, "Oh, I can believe him because he's not lying." But if you cannot prove it yet, then you should hang your belief up first. Not wait and see. You should use your wait and see attitude. Wait until you can prove it. In the Kalama Sutta, have you read the Kalama Sutta?
Yes, Bante, I was just listening to a talk yesterday that referenced the Kamala Sutta as well. Not to believe just because someone
It's a
said so.
teacher, somebody well known, somebody. You have to prove the teaching, whether what they teach is true or not first.
Is Vinaya one of the main factors in like seeing for ourselves I know that we don't want to believe just because of because they say it and whatnot, but their actions, if they're practicing Vinaya strictly, this may be a good defining factor.
For what? Defining factor for what?
For seeing that they may be in line with their values.
Yeah, you can say whether drinking is good or bad. When you drink and when you don't drink, then you can compare, right? When you drink, you get drunk and you cannot practice meditation. But when you don't drink, you're not drunk, then you can practice meditation. So you can compare this. You can prove it to yourself whether drinking is good or bad for your practice. See, the Vinaya is supposed to support our practices. If you can keep the Vinaya, it will help you in your practice. If you cannot keep your Vinaya, then your Vinaya can. If you cannot keep it, then it can become an obstacle. You'll be creating obstacle to your practice.
Okay. And does this mean it's like ethically right or wrong to follow like with killing, lying, stealing, and sexual misconduct? These are wrong to do ethically.
Yes, because no one wants to be killed, right? You don't want to be killed. No one wants to be hurt by other people. So this is ethical or moral. You don't want to hurt other beings, not just human, animals also.
But outside of this, if maybe we party every once in a while, you're saying like drinking or something like that, or using beds or entertainment. These aren't necessarily ethically wrong, but yes, I do find that it keeps me from meditating.
Yes,
sense restraint.
There are hindrances to your meditation practice,
Advancement, okay.
If you want to keep advancing, then you don't want to spend your time on other activities. You just want to spend your time on meditation only.
Yeah. Okay. I will have to tighten up the practice a bit and stay a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yes. Try to be as uncomfortable as much as possible, because it will then force you to use the Dhamma to cope with this discomfort. And you're developing more Dhamma, mindfulness, and wisdom.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. When are you leaving for Australia? Pretty soon?
Yes, I'll be arriving July 2nd, before the Lhasa on the 14th.
You'll be in Melbourne or Sydney?
This is Perth. This is Western
Perth,
Australia.
Western Australia. That's where Ajaan runs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very isolated.
Good.
Yeah.
You need
I hope,
isolation to advance in your practice.
Yeah. My aspiration is to maybe do some do Thanga maybe a little bit later, because I need to develop basic basic meditation first. But and maybe that's a whole nother subject. So I don't want to hold you too long.
Okay, good. All right. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Next, Sulan from Singapore. Sue.
Yeah. Hello, Ajaan. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Anything tonight?
Yeah, I have some questions. My first question is that yeah, this month is like Father's Day. Then I'm just wondering like how best can we actually like kind of repay our parents, because I mean I try to buy good food for them and all that to treat them well, but I just have this nagging feeling that it is not enough, that whatever I do is not enough to repay them, and because of this I also have the fear and anxiety that like because they are quite old, I'm afraid that they will leave me one day. Then I feel like I'm not doing enough. Yeah, I just have this kind of feeling. So I just wondering how
Just
best.
do more. Just do more. If you don't feel enough, then do more. It's like
Do more.
eating. When eating, you don't feel you eat enough, then you eat more, right? Just do until you feel that you cannot do any more.
So I should buy more good food for them.
Well, you have to use rationality. So you have to use common sense. If you give them more than they can eat, what's that for, right?
Yeah.
Maybe do something else. Stay with them. Take them out, go on some places. Make them happy somehow. But if you can teach them meditation, if they want to practice meditation, teach them how to meditate.
Yeah, I tried teaching them before, but they don't seem to get it.
Okay, then do something else. See what they like and do the things that they like, or give them the things that they like.
Yeah, and they become addicted to watching YouTube.
Okay, that's the
now they
business,
like,
it's not your business. You know, if watching YouTube make them happy, let them watch the YouTube. You want to make them happy, that's the goal. So you have to find out what makes them happy.
Okay, yeah. Then because they keep watching YouTube, I feel like taking away the YouTube account because it's bad for their eyes, right? Okay, but it's like becoming controlling to them. Then I think they will not happy.
Yeah, they will resent you and they become unhappy if you trying to take control of their life.
Yeah.
You're supposed to support them, not to take control of them. You're supposed to be a servant, not the master.
Oh yeah, thank you for the analogy. I think I get it now. Yeah. Be the servant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all?
I have another question. Like just now, Ajaan, you mentioned that we should be uncomfortable, and that is the best way to practice. Then yeah, I realized that I mean during this pandemic, I think mostly we are at home, so we don't really interact much with people. So when I have to interact with people, then I just feel very uncomfortable, and not say that as in more like I feel like when I have to speak, I feel like I'm in the limelight, sort of limelight. Then I'll feel very uncomfortable and quite anxious. So is this kind of uncomfortable feeling good?
It's good in a sense that it will force you to make yourself comfortable under the uncomfortable situations. So you can be comfortable under uncomfortable situation. But you have to force your mind to adapt to the uncomfortable situation in order for it to be comfortable.
Oh, okay. So we should try to make ourselves comfortable with the uncomfortable situations.
That's right.
Okay.
If you can do that, then next time when you run into uncomfortable situation, you can be comfortable.
Yeah,
The goal is to adapt your mind to every type of condition or situation and be comfortable with those situations. Instead of trying to change the situation, you should change your mind itself. Change your reaction to the situation.
It's like the mind is very instinctively want to run away from uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, so you want to train it the other way around, to face uncomfortable situation. And enjoy it. If you want to enjoy the uncomfortable situation, then you don't have to run away, right?
Yeah, okay. Oh, right now it's a bit hard.
That's why you need meditation and mindfulness to help you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll go to Facebook now for more questions if there's any.
Yeah, thank you, Ajaan.
There's one question from Facebook, Ajaan. The question is from Eli Hassan. Ajaan, may I ask about knowing? Is it the same as realizing? Can we say that knowing is the background of mind of thinking, also background of other 5 senses like eyes of seeing, ears of hearing, smell, taste, and touch? Thank you.
Knowing is knowing. What else can I say? Knowing is knowing. Knowing the 5 senses. Knowing the 4 noble truths. This is the knowing that will be the one who knows.
That's all, Ajaan.
Okay. We have about 10 minutes left. Anybody would like to ask more questions or contribute something, you are welcome.
Joko.
Okay.
Well, Ajaan, actually I don't want to ask. I just wanna share about Dharma preaching I heard probably a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's about happiness come from within. So when I realized this simple sentence, but it full of meanings, I realized that it's what make Buddhism different from the other religious teaching. So when we try to seek happiness from within ourselves by probably doing meditation or cultivating wisdom within ourselves, I think we grow ourselves gradually. But what we know oppositely, when many people who do not learn Dharma, they try to find happiness in the external. So they do anything just to please themselves, just to make themselves satisfied. But as we learn Buddhism, we know that everything which is conditioned is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So that's what make difference between when we try to find happiness within ourselves, which is from meditation or trying to develop our mind, than those who try to find happiness outside themselves by trying to probably like eating a lot of foods or trying to find happiness from relationship, from sensual pressure or other things, which is actually anicca dukkha anatta, and it is uneternal, it is not satisfied. So this is the thing that I want to share, and probably the discussion that we mostly have on developing meditation practice.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Buddhism is about, teaching us the real happiness is within ourselves. The happiness outside of the mind is a false happiness, fake happiness. They are anicca. They rise and cease. Anybody else would like to? Let me say hello to Philip first, since he came in late. Hi, Philip, do you have anything?
Great, Ajaan. I'm just happy to be listening in.
So you have dinner party tonight, huh?
No, it's actually the work arrangement. So I had to show my face there. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it doesn't happen, but these are overseas clients that came over.
Okay. Well, let me go to your friend Alvin. He raised his hand.
Ajaan, regarding trying to make us comfortable from a comfortable position, I have been most of the time I have been sitting on the floor without a cushion, meditating. I wouldn't say that I'm comfortable, but I'm getting used to it. But my sitting, I think if I go on a cushion, I can probably sit slightly longer. Should I continue with sitting on the floor and trying to lengthen?
See, sitting meditation doesn't, the duration is not the one that determines your success in meditation. The success in meditation is determined by the quality of your meditation, which is the strength of your mindfulness and wisdom. If you sit on a comfortable cushion, you require this mindfulness and wisdom to cope with the situation. But if you sit without a cushion, sit on the hard floor, your body will start to have ache and pain. Then you will need to develop more mindfulness and wisdom in order to be able to cope with the pain and continue on with your meditation practice. So we have to more or less increase our discomfort, physical discomfort, in order to force the mind to increase its tolerance to the pain, the discomfort of the body. And in order to have this tolerance, it needs to develop upekkha by mindfulness or wisdom. We eventually want to get to the point where the pain of death, we want to get to that point where we can face the pain of death without having any qualm. And you need a lot of upekkha to do this and a lot of wisdom. If you sit on a comfortable position, you will not have the opportunity to face this pain, which will have to come sooner or later in your lifetime. So right now you are preparing yourself, doing the homework to face the examination, the test that will come when your body become really sick or nearly dying. Then you will have to face this intense pain in your body. if you haven't trained yourself yet, you will not be able to maintain calm and peace in your mind. But that's why do not be attached to comfort, physical comfort, because they are like a trap. Prevent you from advancing higher to a higher level of Dharma.
Sometimes I sleep on the floor as well, on the wooden floor.
Well, sleeping actually is a way provide you with just prevent you from sleeping too long, because when your body have rested enough, then you will get up, and you will not, and the mind doesn't want to continue sleeping because the floor is not comfortable.
Exactly, but for me, to be honest, Ajaan, it's between the trade-off of trade-off of the heat, because sleeping on the floor is more cooling. But then again, you can't sleep for long because after a while you feel that it's uncomfortable. So you tend to wake up. But then for me, my intention is probably it's more cooling on the floor. Can't sleep for long.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. We have 2 more minutes left.
We have a raspberry.
Final question from you.
Yes, if we have 1 minute, it was in regards to Tudong practice, and a practitioner who wants to develop these qualities. Do they have to have a teacher who also does Tudong, or is it just a matter of having good meditation and other qualities?
No, you need a teacher who has Tudong experience to teach you Tudong. Like you need a tennis teacher who knows how to play tennis, right? You don't want a teacher who doesn't know how to play tennis to teach you tennis.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Tudong teacher nowadays is very difficult to find because not many do the Tudong like before. So mostly you spend more of the time it's just Tudonging in your monastery instead of going to the wild forest. And also, I'm not sure whether you can do it in Australia or not, because you need the support of the community when you go to Tudong. You're not supposed to carry your supply with you. In Thailand, in the days of Ajaan, monks go to Tudong, but they rely on the villagers nearby for food.
Yeah. At Forest Dhamma, there's a few younger practitioners that do some Tudong practice, and I'm very inspired by their practice. Yeah.
I see. Okay, it's a good way because it's considered to be austere practices. You have to live in discomfort. You have to live in physical discomfort, and this will force you to practice harder in order to be able to cope with this physical discomfort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the karma will ripen eventually. Thank you.
All right. I think that's about all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting help you some way, help you benefit you in some ways and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Raja.
Thank you, Amin.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amin. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Kumla.
Yeah, me.
Bye.
ขอบคุณคุณลาคุณบอยครับสวัสดีครับ
บ๊ายบาย สวัสดีค่ะ